speaker is my own guru, uh, Hariharan sir. Is somebody I respect a lot. Hariharan sir is an expert in costing, absolute expert in costing. He's a chartered accountant, but he decided never to practice. So he looks at operations in a big way, and his design thinking is one of the best skills ever. So sir has basically been with SPJN for a long time. He likes to teach the normal courses. FMB also sir has been teaching, right? And but sir enjoys teaching more of OMP, owner management programs, because sir believes that they understand the value better, which is completely sir's prerogative. Sir is an action-oriented person. So basically, why sir says that is he wants to see every learning translate into actions. And cost accountant, chartered accountant. He works with companies like Tata Motors, Titan, Mahindra and Mahindra, right across the line, sir has field. And that's it. What else can I say except that I'm blessed to have him here, very much blessed to have him here. And last thing, last but not the least, Hariharan sir is well trained in a lot of methodologies, especially the Japanese. I'll be a part of this thing till I get this kid admitted. I'll be definitely there via my phone. Hariharan sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Anil.
Yeah,
Thanks for the generosity.
and that is my guru. I have always attended his class, and what you can see that radiance from his face. You can see tears in my eyes also. He allows me to sit in his class, make notes, and then I teach that to FMB students. Sir, I'm blessed, sir. Thank you very, very much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Over to you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Okay, I'm just sharing the screen. I hope you can see the screen, Excel sheet. I'll be using the chat box extensively, and there will be three-way communication. One is going to be the what I'll be talking. Second is going to be the open Excel sheet where I will keep typing what we discuss. So there will not be any presentation I'm going to show. I'm going to create a presentation here. And the third mode of communication is your what do you call the chat box. So feel free to chat, feel free to come up with questions. So it becomes easier. So here we go. So I'm sure many of you are engineers as well. Can you please tell me what is Newton's third law of motion? For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. I think Parit has typed it. So for every action, I hope it works. Yeah. For every action, there is what? There is equal and opposite reaction, right? There is a financial reaction. So this is what I call as Newton's law of business. For every action, there is a financial reaction. Whatever you do has got an impact on the bottom line. So whether I decide to give a discount to my customer, there is an impact on the bottom line. I decide to add up facilities, add up capacity in my plant, there's a financial reaction. I decide to go for holding back the payment for my supplier, there is a financial reaction. Yeah, even holding back the payment. I decide to recruit a new employee, there is a financial reaction. I decide to participate in Nuremberg trade fair, there is a financial reaction. So for every action, there is a financial reaction. This is a basic theme or basic premise of what we are going to discuss. So when you say financial reaction, what is the ultimate financial reaction of your action? What is the ultimate financial reaction of your action? You can keep typing. You're all in business. So what is the ultimate financial reaction of action? Profit or loss? So let me be positive for profit, right? Okay. So Saurabh makes a profit of, let us say, for example, 1 crore. Abhishek makes a profit of 5 crores. Saurabh makes 1 crore. Abhishek makes 5 crores in a year, okay? Whereas Abhishek makes 5 crores profit. Who is better off? Need to know the investment also. Okay. But Harish, tell me one thing. Abhishek will be coming in a Mercedes Benz. Maybe Saurabh will come in Innova, right? Somebody who makes 6,000 crore loss should be capable of making 6,000 crore loss. Is it not? So definitely the size of the business matter. You have a very valid point. Abhishek has a valid point. It depends on the ROI. Suppose I say Saurabh makes 1 crore with investment of 5 crores, whereas Abhishek makes 5 crores with investment of 1,000 crores. Who is better off? Saurabh is better. Am I correct? So in terms of ROI, Saurabh is better off than Abhishek. Make sense? Okay. So one is an absolute reaction, other is a relative reaction. So it is not enough if you are making profit, you have to be profitable as well. Okay. Nirmit, you are in what business? You can type down, Nirmit. Steel casting manufacturing. So you are a B2B business. Am I correct, Nirmit? Yeah? Okay. Tell me a good customer, a very reliable, trustworthy customer you have. Give me a name. One name. Metso. Metso is a very trustworthy customer. So let us say, for example, so Nimrit, look at the example carefully. You have an outstanding of, let us say, for example, 10 lakhs from Metso. Suppose Metso tells you, Nimrit, if you want, I can pay you 9 lakhs now. I'll pay you 9 lakhs now, or I will pay you 10 lakhs after 1 month. You already said Metso is highly reliable. Am I correct? Okay. So I will pay you 9 lakhs now, or I will pay you 10 lakhs after 1 month. What will you prefer? Will you prefer 9 lakhs now or 10 lakhs after 1 month? After a month, correct? Because definitely I don't think anybody is in a business who can make 1 lakh out of 9 lakhs in 1 month. Then I should find out what business you are in. Am I correct? It's not possible. So therefore, you will definitely prefer that 10 lakhs after 1 month rather than 9 lakhs now. Correct, Nimrit? Okay. Nimrit, I'll make you change your answer. Okay. Suppose you are in terrific cash crunch now. You are in terrific cash crunch now. What is your reaction? 9 lakhs now, or is it 10 lakhs after 1 month? Not terrific, terrible cash crunch now. COVID times. Prefer the first option depending upon that, right? Correct? So that means you are not changing your stance. Am I correct? Your answer depends upon the context. Is it not? So therefore, situation warrant. So what has taken precedence now, Nimrit? It is neither the profit nor the profitability. What has taken situation? What has taken the precedence now? What has superseded profit and profitability? Both. You have ignored the profit. Exactly. Abhishek, you are absolutely right. So the third aspect is cash flow. So this is a survival measure. That is why we say in COVID times, please look at frugality. Am I correct? So there are 3 financial reactions we talk about: profit, profitability, and cash flow. Am I correct? Make sense? Okay. So when you say we have 3 profitable reactions we have, what is the most important thing? Okay, before getting into this, let us try to get a little bit more into Abhishek. From where Abhishek got this 1,000 crores? Abhishek got this 1,000 crores. He got an email from Nigeria, and one old lady has given all her wealth to Abhishek. Abhishek, please come out of the shock. Aapko 1,000 crores fukad mein mila. You got 1,000 crores free of cost. Okay? And you're investing this 1,000 crores in business and generating 5 crores profit. You will continue to generate 5 crores post-tax profit. Are you creating wealth or destroying wealth? Are you creating or destroying? Destroying wealth, you're making money. Fukad mein mila aapko. Why do you say you're destroying wealth? You can open and answer also. Audio also you can use. Exactly. FD will give a better return. Is it not? So there's no money which is a free money. So when I say my business has to generate profit, my business has to be profitable, the return should be more than your cost of capital. And the cost of capital is not only the borrowed capital, but also the opportunity cost of capital. Am I correct, Abhishek? So Abhishek says, I got an opportunity of earning better by putting it in FD. So therefore, let us look at it in that context. When I talk about ROI, I'm talking about EVA, economic value add. Economic value add talks about generate a return that is more than the cost of capital. Cost of capital includes opportunity cost as well. Am I correct? Makes sense? Okay, we'll go ahead now. For getting these three things, what is the most fundamental thing a company should do? What is the most important thing a company should do to get profit, profitability, cash flow? Yes, Manoj, shoot the question. When I have borrowed the money, then where is opportunity cost? No, when you borrowed money, that will be a cost of capital for you, right, Manoj? Suppose Abhishek borrowed it at, let us say, for example, 12% interest. He should definitely generate a return which is much more than 12%. Am I correct? Is it not? Yeah. But if Abhishek has not borrowed, he said, I will put the money in FD. Okay, Menon will shoot you when you put the money in FD. I know that. So therefore, you're going to put the money in, let us say, for example, at least RBI bond risk-free return, you should get about 6.5%. Am I correct? So that is why I use the word opportunity cost. Is it okay, Manoj? Okay. Now, what is the most important thing a company should do to generate profit? What is the most important thing a company should do to generate profit? Yeah. Type. Sales. Simple. Sales. You cannot create wealth by reducing cost. Sales is a growth driver. In fact, if you look at most of the startup companies, they remain startup primarily because they don't have a clear-cut revenue generating model. Agreed. Bingo. I may have to increase my advertisement. I have to do so many things to increase my sales. Am I correct? It's not only my advertisement. Yes, innovation is required, but all these things, Nachiket, should translate to your sales, right? You innovate, but if it is not resulting in a sales, faida kya hai? Am I correct? I cannot say like Ram Gopal Verma, I think I have taken a movie ahead of time. Who asked you to take a movie ahead of time? You're supposed to be relevant for the customer. Am I correct? But Nachiket, tell me one thing. You start a business for reducing cost or creating wealth. No, add value in industry is definitely a very lofty statement. But let us be practical about it. Why do you start a business? If a business is not going to be generating wealth, you are not going to continue the business, right? It's to make money. So put it very simply, for the money to come in, what is the most fundamental thing? Is sales. You cannot create wealth by reducing cost. Then I may end up telling like this, hey, to reduce cost, don't travel by, run behind the bus. You can save the bus fare. Why don't you run behind the car? You can save the taxi fare also. The point here is that sales is a growth driver. You cannot create wealth by reducing cost. You have to, Nimit, I am making it a statement repeatedly again and again the same thing. Cost, I am not telling cost reduction is not important. Please look at carefully the statement I am making. Creation of wealth comes from revenue. You will be busy in your business provided you have a business. Danda kaisa chal raha hai? That's what you discuss, right? When you meet each other. Yes or no? Danda kaisa chal raha hai ka matlab kya hai? So will your answer be, I am reducing cost very well. Will you answer like that? Or I got 5 new customers. How will you answer? Correct? So exactly, you will not answer, hey, धंधा कैसा चल रहा है? मैं rent कम किया अभी. मैं EMI कम किया, 2 लोग को भेज दिया, what do you call, dismiss किया. I am not going to discuss business कैसा धंधा कैसा चल रहा है कि आंसर वो नहीं ना, बराबर. Intuitively धंधा कैसा चल रहा है is driven by the sales. So you cannot create wealth by reducing cost. In early 2000, many celebrities are asked a question, which is the greatest financial advice you ever got? Shah Rukh Khan said, my mother told me when I was young that don't waste your time in reducing cost. Instead, focus on generating revenue. Interesting, right? Instead of spending 1 hour in reducing how to reduce cost, thinking about it, spend that 1 hour in generating revenue, you can be well off. So his mother told him. So Shah Rukh Khan took it very seriously. So he purchased a cricket team also, Kolkata Knight Riders. Am I correct? I think they were allowed to win 2 or 3 times, right? IPL, correct. So if you remember the second IPL, I watched IPL till the second IPL. After that, I stopped watching IPL. In the second IPL, it happened in South Africa, if you remember correctly. All these fellows went to South Africa. Within 1 week or 10 days, Shah Rukh Khan said, boss, we are spending too much money. Send 50% team back to India. I want detailed account of how the money is being spent. Am I correct? Why Shah Rukh Khan, who has been grown up in the younger age by telling that don't waste your time in reducing cost, suddenly started talking about cost? Why he suddenly started talking about cost? Yeah, I'm just waiting for a response. Making losses. So typically, Abhishek, what happens? Okay, financial advisors, no, it's not exactly, because it is an expense, because he's not able to survive, correct? That business was not surviving for him. I'm sure many of you know a lot of dohas. There is a very popular Kabir doha which I like a lot, which many of you may be knowing it also. दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे न कोई. जो सुख में सुमिरन करे, दुख कहे को है. याद है आपको? You remember? You think about companies also do the same thing. Profit, loss में cost cutting सब करे. Sorry, Manoj, I was assuming I'm speaking in Tamil or Hindi here. Okay, but still I will make it. Okay. Dukh mein sumiran sab kare. When you are sad, everybody think about God. Sumiran is a colloquial way of talking smaran. Okay. Sukh mein kare na koi. When you are doing very well, you will not talk about what you call God at all. Jo sukh mein sumiran kare, if you are thinking about God when you are doing very well, dukh kahe ko hai. Loss, from where do you get dukh? You will not get dukh. That's what Kabir says. I'll slightly modify it. Loss में cost cutting सब करे, profit में करे ना कोई. जो profit में cost management करे, loss कहे को है, बराबर ना? Are you getting what I mean? This is one of the fundamental problems I find in every organization, irrespective of size. More so in larger organization, lesser in smaller organization. When we do very well, we assume we are efficient. When we are drunk with profit, we splurge money. Am I correct? Saurav, I'll definitely repeat. In fact, this was told to me by one Saurav only, one of my students. Loss में cost cutting सब करे. When I'm making losses, I will cut cost everywhere. No more chai, no more travel, etc., etc. Profit में करे ना कोई. When you're doing profit, nobody talks about cost. Hey, don't talk about cost. It's a bad word. जो profit में cost management करे, if you are thinking about operational excellence when you're doing well, loss kahe ko hai? Will you ever get a loss at all? Why Toyota never made a loss for 60 years? Despite being an automobile company. They made a loss in 2009, the year after they became #1 automaker. Very interesting, right? If you're interested, go to internet and search for why Toyota made loss. You'll get a lot of stories on that. So typically, you start thinking about cost when you're doing badly, which is not actually a good thing to do. Think about cost when you're doing well. So cost is a survival driver. Make sense? So if I look at carefully, Sales leads to profit, profitability, and cash flow. Cost also enables profit, profitability, cash flow. Am I correct? Yeah, makes sense? So I will just connect the lines here. Yes, cost is a survival driver. Sales links to profit, sales link to profitability, and sales links to cash flow. Cost links to profit, cost links to cash flow, and cost links to ROI. Make sense? Okay. Now still there is a gap here. I have to fill this gap. When we are discussing, you said that Saurav is better off than Abhishek. Remember that? Yaad hai aapko? Why did you say that? Yes, Jay. It cost enable should enable profit. Okay. So since you said that, I will give a definition for cost. Please look at it. Any expense that adds value to customer is cost. Otherwise, it is waste. Make sense? Yes, Manoj. Cost is related to cash flow as well. So if you look at carefully, you try to go take a place on rent, or should I take a place, a own place? They all involve cost, right? They involve cash flow, right? Is it not? Your decision, suppose you are asking your customer for advance, there is a cash flow impact. If you tell your customer pay me later, there is a cash flow impact. If you pay advance to your supplier, there is a cash flow impact. If you tell the supplier I will pay you after 60 days, there is a cash flow impact. Am I correct? During COVID times, asking for moratorium is having a future cash flow impact. Okay, so cost is a survival driver. It triggers the other three. Now the third aspect, somebody already said ROI. The third aspect is investment. What is investment? Can you define investment? We use this word very often, right? Opportunity, capital employed by promoter, future returns, resources deployment, money blocked to generate sales. Harish, I love this, man. Money blocked. Why do you use the word blocked? Why do you use the word blocked? A very negative word you're using, but why are you using that? Pingo says amount with, you can't use it for a while. Nisha, you're right. Correct? Is it not? See, I will start from what he said. Money blocked in the system. Correct, no? When you invest, what happens to ROI? The moment you invest, what happens to ROI? False. Am I correct? ROI comes down. So when you invest, ROI comes down. Is it not? I'm assuming investment for sales, huh? Not cost reduction investment. You may make investment for reducing cost also. Okay, it's investment for sales. So the moment you invest, ROI comes down. Am I correct? What happens to cash flow? What happens to cash flow when you invest? Does it go up, Abhishek? Does cash flow go up when you invest? It reduces also. When you make a big investment, you hold back your money. Am I correct? Even if you're using a WAP, you're blocking money there. Am I correct, Abhishek? Yeah? So, your money is blocked in the system and therefore cash flow hatak gaya. And any investment you're making is also going to lead to cost. Yes or no? I'm not talking about the interest part here. Hitesh, converted in other form of asset is primarily, but the cash is stuck. Am I correct? Cash hasn't come down yet. Hasn't come out yet. Am I correct? Okay, that's very crucial. But why are you investing? Your cash flow is coming down, your ROI is coming down, cost is going up. Why do you invest? Money blocked in the system with an intention to generate money in the future. Can I say like this? So I will add one more line here. That line is primarily your investment to sales. If this particular line is thicker, you are saved. If this particular line is thinner, you are in soup. Am I correct? So I just defined business in a very simple way. Ultimately, business talks about you're investing the money, you incur cost to generate sales. If only life is very simple. Am I correct? Is it not? As an entrepreneur, what is important for us is to understand how my actions lead to these three things. Am I correct? Okay. So for understanding that, let us take a very simple example. What is ROI? How do you calculate ROI? ROI is nothing but, yeah, how do you calculate ROI? Profit by investment to 100. Okay. How do you calculate profit, Harish? EBIT, revenue minus expenses. So sales minus cost divided by FA plus working capital. Can I say like this? Fixed asset plus working capital. Can we say like that? Yeah. So put it very simply, sales minus cost divided by investment is ROI. So when you say any action we undertake will impact one of these three, one or more of these. Am I correct? Yes or no? Yeah, simple. Okay. So any action you take will have an impact on sales, will have an impact on cost, or will have an impact on investment. Am I correct? Okay. If sales has to go up, what will make your total sales value to go up or come down? Is my question clear? What will result in sales revenue? Please look at the word revenue. Go up or come down? No, not exactly, Sri. Abhishek is starting this. Price of the unit. Am I correct? So, any change in selling price per unit will have an impact on sales. Order conversion, volume of sales is the second factor, or demand. So, any change in sales volume will also impact sales revenue. Yes or no? Okay. What is the third factor? Which is a very important factor. Measurable, all the factors are measurable factors. Huh? I'm not giving any gas factor. No, credit given to buyer will increase the sales volume. Abhishek. Inshallah. Correct now? Market condition will determine what, Pingo? Either it will impact your selling price or impact your sales volume, right? Yes or no? Manoj, when I say sales, what do you call? I'm talking about the collection only, volume of collection only. Okay. Both. Okay. Production capacity will lead to what? Sales volume, right, Harish? Okay, I will ask you a question. Is it possible that your sales volume does not go up, your selling price does not go up, but your sales revenue goes up? Is it possible? It's a very specific and important question. Please answer. No, not spares, not scrap. Your sales volume does not go. Total sales volume does not go up. Not cost. I'm talking about revenue going up, sir. Not cost reduction, not profit. Raw material price going down is not the factor. There is a cost factor. Leave out the after sales service, Samarth. Leave out the other source of income. Yes, Hitesh, you hit the nail on head. Product mix. Can you elaborate, Hitesh? Can open up and talk also. Why do you say that? Product mix. In fact, one of the most critical sources of revenue generation is your product mix. You take any industry you work in, there is a product mix. FMCG, there is a product mix. Auto parts, there is a product mix. Am I correct? Machinery, there is a product mix. Yes, Hitesh, value-added components. Accessories in the case of car. Is there a product mix in power? Product mix change. Is there a, yes, Casey, can you tell me how is it? Product mix in power, how? Smart guys. Not exactly. LTHT connections or your commercial connection or your, correct? Home and industry, brilliant. So that means even in a single product industry like your energy, there is a product mix. It's a customer in this mix actually. Am I correct? Yeah. So change in product mix. So if you look at carefully, if I am taking some action, this action can have an impact on selling price, sales volume, and product mix. Am I correct? Make sense? Is it okay so far? Yes, Abhishek, you want an example, beta? 1 minute, hold on. This is 35 rupees. This white one is 35 rupees. This is 135 rupees. Okay. Both are primarily eye lotions. Okay, both are eye lotions. This is 35. This is 135. Okay, forget about 35, 135. So let us say this is 120, this is 135. Okay. Both are having identical margin. No, Abhishek. Both are eye drops with a very subtle difference. I'll come to that, Abhishek, quickly. This is a simplistic eye cleaner. This one you use when you have a slight irritation. There is a difference here. Earlier, this product was not there. This product was there. This product was there in a different format altogether. In terms of a tube, which will be a vial, where you have to necessarily use it with a fluid kind of a thing. But both are having identical kind of liquid now. Definitely the margin is different, Abhishek. Yeah, okay. Now, generally you buy this. Say, for example, this is a 135 rupees product and a margin of 15 rupees. This is a 130 rupees product and a margin of 8 rupees. If a customer moves from this product to this product, is your total sales volume remain constant? Total sales volume? Yes. Is there a change in selling price? No. Is there a change in cost structure? No. Will there be a change in profit? Yes. Why? Revenue goes up. In this case, revenue comes down 135 to 125. Revenue comes down by 10 rupees. If the customer move from here to here, revenue comes down by 10 rupees. Am I correct? So that means before this product was there, for example, I am having only this product. Then what the company started doing, they start introducing a variant which can capture some niche market also, or which will help you to graduate some customers from here to here. Am I correct, Abhishek? So when you are able to create product mix, there is a potential for you to increase your revenue without increasing the volume or price. Am I correct? Make sense? Okay, good. So that means product mix is a very, very critical part for this. I will talk about it more elaborately, at least for 15 minutes within another 10 minutes. Okay, shall we go ahead now? There is no other way your sales revenue is going to go up. It can go up or come down only because of three reasons: price, volume, mix, nothing else. You make multiple combinations, you bundle the product, you're creating a mix. Am I correct? You unbundle the product, you create a mix. Is it not? Make sense? Earlier, they used to give, along with the mobile phone, earphone. Now they are not giving earphone. Have you noted that? Okay, what they have done? They have unbundled the product. By unbundling the product, you're now necessarily you have to buy a earphone separately. Make sense now? So how you are able to look at creating variants is an extremely critical source for you to make profit. Yes, Nimit, it will lead to cost also, no doubt about that. I'll come to that immediately. Correct? Yeah, it is not that फुकट में नहीं मिलता है, बराबर ना? There is going to be a cost involved in this one. But the only thing is, we have to see that price cost ratio very carefully. Make sense? Can I add value to my customer without affecting my cost? It's very important for you to look at. Right? Okay, let us go to cost. In the case of cost, what will result in total cost going up other than volume? I'll write it very clearly, other than volume, because volume anyway, the volume goes up or comes down is going to be a natural factor. One is change in variable cost per unit. Abhishek, you said RM cost. I'm talking about variable cost here per unit. Correct? So there are variable costs in every industry. A variable cost changing per unit is going to make a big difference. Right? In fact, you can safely say material is the only variable cost in most of the companies. Am I correct? Is it not? Yeah. If you have to reduce variable cost, which function is the most important function for reducing variable cost per unit? No, product mix fine, Abhishek. I'm talking about which function. Casey says purchase. You are right, because negotiation. Am I correct? Casey Shetty, you are into which business? You're in which business, Casey? LED lighting. Is it? Are you selling your own product, Casey? Or are you trading? Okay. Also for OEM, and you also make your own product. Am I correct, Shetty? Okay. Shetty, I'm going to make one observation now. There is one more department in your company which is more critical for raw material cost reduction than purchase. What is that? Amit, I'll come to productivity in another few minutes. Not wastage, not operations, not transportation, not sales, not labor, not realization, not CD payment, not inventory stock. One more function. What drives material consumption, Nimit? Conversion, inventory, orders. You want a clue? You want a clue? Okay, wait. I'll give a clue. Hold on. You could see these two pens here. Okay. Both are blue pen, huh? One cap is like this, other cap is like this. Which will be costlier? You could see. No, both are blue. The black with blue is one in my right hand is costlier. Am I correct? Yes, Pankaj, you are right. More than 90% of your product cost is committed by the time the design is complete. Please look at carefully what I mean here. Shetty, the one area where you can definitely focus reduce cost is design. Design commits the cost. Make sense? If you're going to reduce cost after the design is complete, it is more like catching the bull by the tail. Yes, design is approved. That doesn't mean it is sacrosanct, right, Shetty? Is it sacrosanct? You can't change it at all? I'll give a very simple example for you to think through. Okay. What is this pen? Shetty, what is this pen? Wait. You can, as per requirement. What is this pen? Marker pen. Have you ever seen anybody putting the marker pen in the pocket like this? No. Then why are you having this clip? You have a clip here, right? Why do you have this clip? What is the purpose this clip is serving? Are you getting my point? Exactly. Brilliant, Dr. Vinod. It prevents it from rolling. But do you require a clip to prevent it from rolling? Okay, Shetty, I'll come to China in a few minutes. Huh? Do you require a clip to prevent it from rolling? Not necessary. I can use a protrusion to prevent it from rolling also. Am I correct? So the point is, what we have to think about here is that in a product with just 9 components, one component is a waste. Am I correct? So when you talk about a product which is having about 5,000 components like an automobile, for 4,000 components like automobile, I am 100% sure at least 40 is waste. Okay, now coming to the point Shetty made and the point about China made, both I'll try to respond now. Yes, in some cases, when you are making the product for a third party, you are a third party manufacturer, your scope for reducing cost is very less in terms of material cost. Am I correct? I agree with you. Correct, now? Yeah. However, Shetty, tell me one thing. Your material wastage is also driven by your process design. Correct? So, the better place to attack for reducing material wastage is actually design of process itself. Make sense? Design is a decision. A decision what you take commits cost. Make sense? Is it clear? So therefore, variable cost per unit, please go back and check your design table. Design of product, process, supply chain, and organization structure all plays a role in your cost structure. Organization structure also. The second factor is change in total fixed cost. Hey, wait, Shetty, cost reduction not at the cost of the product quality, huh? Not acceptable. Okay? Is it not? Can't do that. right? Okay, change in total fixed cost. Look at carefully. There is one myth very quickly I want to dismantle before we go further. There is a myth that fixed cost per unit will come down if the volume of production goes up. Am I correct? Okay. If that be the case, purchase a railway pass, a fixed cost, and travel as much as possible. Your cost per trip will come down. Is the idea good? Hey, you only said sometime back fixed cost per unit comes when production goes up, right? Then how can this be wrong? Does your cost per trip comes down? Okay, let us look at it very quickly because we have to be clear about what we mean here. It doesn't contribute at all. Nimit, it doesn't contribute. Nimit, I will answer your question with a very specific example. Nimit, you have to answer this question, okay? Suppose your company is an all fixed cost company. Example के लिए बोल रहा हूँ, सब fixed cost ही है, no variable cost in your company, okay? Your fixed cost per month is 7,20,000 rupees per month. Your volume, your capacity, your normal capacity is, let us say, for example, 80,000 units per month. Is it okay? So when you put up the plant, your idea is to make 80,000 units capacity. So what is your normal fixed cost per unit? 7,20,000 divided by 80,000, 9 rupees per unit. Am I correct? Is it okay, Nimit? Okay. During a month, you could not sell more than, say, for example, 60,000 units. Your sale is 60,000 units. Right? Okay. Answer my question very carefully. Is your product became costlier, or your decision to have 80,000 capacity costing you? What is costing you, boss? Is it your, and forget about product mix, single product, Shetty. Let us not complicate it, right? So Abhishek says, Abhishek says, your decision is costing you, not your product. Am I correct? Now, when I say my cost per unit is going to be 7,20,000 divided by 60,000, and therefore I say my cost per unit is, let us say, for example, divided by, sorry. Can I say my cost has gone up to 12 now? Yes or no? How can you say yes? Is your product costing you? Nisha and Nirmit, is your product costing you? For you not able to sell the product, how can you blame the product? Can you go and tell your customer, hey, customer, I thought you're going to buy 80,000. You bought only 60,000. Pay me more. will he pay you more? No way, right? Am I correct? Extend the example further. Think about it. Suppose you're running a hotel. Hotel is a fixed cost game. Am I correct? Yes or no? Hotel is a fixed cost game. Okay. Let us take the same example simplistically. You have 100 rooms in the hotel. And let us say per day cost in a hotel is, let us say, for example, 1,20,000. During peak period, all 100 occupied. Am I correct? during lean period, off peak, off season, you have only 40 occupied. Now, can I say my cost during peak is 1,000 rupees, 1,200 per room night, and cost during non-peak is 3,000 per room night? Can you say like this? No, correct? No. Why you can't say that? Asutosh, I'll come to that in 2 minutes, huh? Don't worry. But go with the flow, Asutosh. Huh? Are you getting my point here? Yeah? Okay. So that means it is not exactly, it won't work. So rather what you will say, hey, on an average, I am occupying about 60 rooms. Average occupancy. So my cost per room night is normally 1,000 to 1,20,000 divided by 60. During peak period, I'll multiply this by 2.5 and set the selling price. During off peak, I'll multiply this by 1.2 and set the selling price. Am I correct? Yes or no? Abhishek, you cannot even tell the customer. Even internally also, you cannot tell your room is costing you. Room has not cost you, your season is costing you. Am I correct, Abhishek? Okay, so therefore, what is important for us is to realize economy of scale has nothing to do with production. It is with reference to sales. Does it make sense? Yeah? We take decision at that time, we apply economy of scale. Does it make sense? For example, when you buy a railway pass, if you are going to travel only for 5 days, you will not buy a railway pass. Am I correct? If you intend to travel for 5 days, you will buy a railway pass when you are intending to travel for 20 days, is it not? That means when do you apply the decision? Absolutely correct, Nimit. Frequency is more. So that means there's always a question. Let us redefine fixed and variable cost. Variable cost is a cost that you incur for using a resource, whereas fixed cost is a cost that you incur for having a resource. Am I correct? Like Salman Khan says in Wanted, no? Ek bar commit kar diya to, I will not listen to myself. Am I correct? The fixed cost is like that. There's another myth that variable cost is controllable, fixed cost is not controllable. It's a myth. In fact, variable cost control is very difficult. You have to go to design table, you have to go for negotiation. But whereas fixed cost is more driven by your decisions. So therefore, what drives your cost factor is two factors here. Change in variable cost per unit, change in total fixed cost. When it comes to investment, there are two factors. One is change in working capital and increase in fixed assets. I'll take one simple example. With that, we'll wind up the session. Suppose you are deciding, I'm going to improve flexibility in my plant. I'm running a manufacturing plant. Some time back, somebody asked a question about product mix. Who is that? When the discussion on volume was going on, somebody talked about product mix. Who talked about it? Can come back now. I said I'll answer this in 3 minutes, I said. Right? Yes. Astosh, you also asked the question. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now look at it carefully, Asutosh. One of the biggest hindrances we have in our plants is primarily, how do I take small orders? Am I correct? Most of us have this challenge. Okay, very good. So why we are uncomfortable taking small orders? Because every time I'm going to set the machine, for half an hour or 1 hour or 2 hours, it takes a lot of time for me to go up and change it. Am I correct? Changeover is a pain. So if you look at carefully, you are all in business for so many years. Am I correct? Maybe some of you for generations also. Just answer my question. Has your product mix gone up or come down over years? Up, 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 up. Am I correct? Gone up. Can the practices you followed about 15 years, about minimum order quantity and all those stuff, can they be used now? You can't. If you use it, you will end up making losses. You will end up creating inventory. Forget about COVID, Abhishek, otherwise also. So what we need in our plant is flexibility. What we need in our operations is flexibility. Easier said than done. So what is this flexibility? I can do anything in any time, in any quantity is the ultimate flexibility. Am I correct? Is it not? Yes, Ishan, you are right. We should look at that. Correct? But what hinders me from going for the flexibility? Let us look at it carefully. When it comes to machinery, my changeover time, my changeover losses, and my lot size committed in one shot are the three biggest hindrances for flexibility. Am I correct? Okay. See, Shetty, raw material, I can, nothing wrong in blocking money in raw material. But the problem is blocking money in work in progress. Am I correct? Because work in progress is actually a reflection of our inefficiency. When I take larger lot size in manufacturing, Shetty, I will end up having more WIP. Is it not? Am I correct? Therefore, it is crucial for us to look at WIP. All these things lead to WIP. What is WIP? What is WIP here? Can you type it out, anybody? What is WIP? Work in process, work in progress. WIP is neither work in progress nor work in process. Hey, then what the hell is it? It is work is pending. I like this, Ishan, waste in process. Okay, WIP is actually waste in process. WIP is work is pending. Look at carefully. Because my lot size is very high, I have to pull ahead orders and produce it in bulk. Am I correct? So if I go and attack my changeover time, if I attack my changeover losses, if I reduce my lot size committed in one shot, I can definitely create more flexibility. I'll give a very simple example from a small ice cream company in Hyderabad, where we help them to do this. In ice cream making, flavoring is a last process where the variety is determined. But how the flavoring happens, there is a vessel for about 220 liter vessel. I pour 220 liters and tap 200 liters. Pour 220, pour 200, tap 200. Pour 200, tap 200. So when I run this for 10 lots of 200 tons each, 200 kgs each, I will have 2000 kgs output and 20 kgs loss. If I run only one lot, I will have 200 kgs output and 20 kgs loss. Am I correct? So definitely I will like to have more volume of batches. Is it not? Here I am not talking about the changeover time, I am talking about changeover losses. Shetty, you have to necessarily keep that out of your mind that small lot manufacturing is a big loss. Okay. I have not visited your plant, but definitely when I see your plant, I can tell you where the challenge is. It is possible to say that because I will give example where it is supposed to be impossible. Take the case of ice cream making. You can't mix two lots. Am I correct? You can't mix two lots. Is it not? Otherwise, you'll get gutbird flavor. So what this company did is something very sensible. So when they start producing the lot again and again and again, typically what started happening was they started occupying their cold storage. Muradian sir always says, make your costliest machine the bottleneck machine. The costliest facility in an ice cream factory is a cold storage. Cold storage is blocked with non-moving stock. Are you getting my point now? So what these guys did is something very sensible. They went and attacked the 20 liters loss. How did they attack this 20 liters loss? They made three changes. Change number one, they created a mechanism whereby that vessel itself was vibrating a little bit to remove all the things as the process happens. Number two, they made some kind of a coating inside to ensure the ice cream is not sticking much to the wall. Number three, they worked on all the connectors, connectivity tabs and tubes to minimize the losses which is stuck inside the tubes and everything. They brought the 20 liters to 7 liters. Now tell me, you won't mind changing over. Am I correct, Shetty? You took nearly 5 to 6 months for them to achieve this. Okay. I'm giving an example from a small company. I'll give an example from a bigger company, SR Steel. Same way they did. Changeover time in the case of steel rolling mill. They brought it down from 1 shift to 20 minutes in a matter of 5-6 years. And for rolling, working roll change from 1.5 hours to 7 minutes, they brought it down. It is possible. You have to really think about it carefully. One area I suggest to all of you to go back and check is what are the hindrances for your flexibility. I'm giving very specific hindrances. In the case of machinery, changeover time, changeover losses, lot size committed is one of the biggest hindrances for your flexibility. Number two, in the case of what you call manpower, you have to look at de-skilling to enable multi-skilling. I'll take another 5 minutes, then I'll wind up. De-skilling to enable multi-skilling. What is de-skilling? What is de-skilling? But for the all-rounder is very difficult, not Shetty, correct? What is de-skilling? De-skilling typically is not unlearned, Saurabh, not unlearned. Okay. Let me give a very simple example. Saurabh, you got the Arogya Setu app with you? So Arogya Setu app, somebody taught you how to use it? No. You learned on your own? Correct? So everybody has learned on their own? Doctor has made an observation. Remove the skill from the operation, you can make the person multi-skilled. There are three hindrances for somebody to acquire a skill. Why am I uncomfortable acquiring a new skill? There are only three reasons. Reason number one, I have a safety concern. Safety of man, safety of machine, safety of the product, safety of money. There is a strain in doing this job. बहुत मेहनत का काम यार नहीं कर सकता है. I don't want to learn it. And the third is primarily skill itself. If you attack these three, you can de-skill the job. When you de-skill the job, you can multi-skill the people. When you multi-skill the people, you can release capacity. When you release capacity, you can generate more revenue. Make sense? Third, flexibility hindrance is your space. How do you make your storage adaptable? Think about it. And one more is your space. Is one more factor is layout. So if you look at carefully, if these are this changeover time, changeover loss, lot size, de-skilling to enable multi-skilling through removing safety, strain and skill, and layout and storage, adaptable storage will help you to move towards reducing your lot sizes. And reducing lot sizes will enable product mix. Make sense? Today, how do we meet product mix? Is through inventory. Is it not? Am I correct? We meet the product mix challenge with inventory. I will build inventory and then sell anything I want to sell. Taking a Mediclaim policy cannot make us healthy. Creating inventory cannot make us flexible. Are you getting the point? So profitability driver are primarily seven. Only seven. Change in selling price per unit, change in sales volume, change in product mix, change in variable cost per unit, change in total fixed cost, change in working capital, increase in fixed assets. These are the 7 factors which impact your profitability, cash flow. I think we have time for this now. I am open for any other question. With that, we can wind up. I am open for questions, but.
Anil, I've joined in.
Sir,
Sir, namaskaram.
That is your surprise. That is your surprise, Hariharan sir.
Yes,
sir.
Thrilled.
Pranam.
Sir, thank you so much for being there.
Sorry, I had another meeting which just ended, and I told Dr. Anil Menon that I will try and make it.
Thank you so much.
So I'm so happy that I could join. Please let me not disturb you. Please continue.
No. I just drew your name sometime back.
Oh my God. Am I that notorious?
Yes, you are. Your reputation precedes you.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yes, any questions? And we have an expert also here, so that becomes easier. Sir, just I made one final observation that you cannot become healthy by taking a Mediclaim policy.
Yes.
You cannot be flexible by adding inventory.
Absolutely. Very well put.
Okay.
Very, very nicely put.
Okay. Yeah, please feel free to ask any question. Of course, a lot of questions came up with the chat. So we are handling.
We are into trading. How do we implement this in our
business? See, Manoj, first and foremost is whichever business you are in, you have to understand what are the typical profitability drivers for you. I'm not using the word profit drivers. I'm not using the word cost drivers. Profitability drivers will fall under one of these 7 categories only. Sales mix, sales volume, sales price, variable cost per unit, total fixed cost, working capital change, and your fixed asset increase. So if you take the case of trading, the typical challenges in trading are going to be driven by, I have to have inventory to meet my customer requirement. Am I correct?
Yes.
Suppose if I'm selling a shirt, white shirt, if I'm selling shirt, and I go, as you are selling a shirt, I go to your shop. I like all the 3 shirts you have only 3 shirts. I will not buy it. I will go to another shop, choose among 50 shirts, I will select a white shirt. You need other 49 shirts required for selling this one white shirt. Therefore, where do I keep inventory and what inventory I keep is a critical factor in the case of trading. Visibility of stock is the most fundamental critical success factor in the case of a trading in that sense. Okay, and when you are in trading, what is important for you is your constraint is your space. How effective you are in utilizing your space. What is that gross margin you make per square feet is what is a critical driver for you to run your business. That is the tool I will look at. In your case, there is only one variable cost, which is a landed cost. And you are going to reduce it or do it only with your negotiation skills. Okay, but when it comes to how you are able to sell, because the way you are organizing the things in your outlet also is going to increase or decrease the sales. Am I correct, Manoj? So therefore, how well I'm utilizing my space and how well I'm turning over my investment, especially my working capital, is what is critical here. Therefore, your inventory turns multiplied by your GMR per square feet is a critical factor, are the 2 critical factors in your business, in my opinion. Sir, Moradin sir, you can add. Sir, unmute.
one more, not variable or a factor or a parameter. Sometimes when we are trading, it's a retail where the customer need not know the product or see the product. What helps, like for example, spare parts. So one of the major factors a customer comes to you is your reputation for dealing with genuine spares. So customer may not come and see, but you have to build reputation. Now reputation is built over a period of time, but can be lost overnight. So I would also add as one more thing to what you said. So
Perfectly correct. I was taking about the consumer product as a basis. You're taken a spare parts. Absolutely right.
Industrial product. So
Yeah,
what
yeah,
will come to you because of your reputation.
yeah. Okay.
So I don't know
Then-
what trading Abhishek is in.
Yeah, yeah. Then why we always talk about fixed cost going up when sales or productivity goes down? See, that fixed cost per unit going up is a myth. You look at very carefully. I remember I gave an example of your railway pass example. Am I correct? Think and answer my question carefully. Suppose your railway pass is 450 rupees per month. Is a pass. Your daily ticket cost is 30 rupees. Abhishek, I am asking you this question. 30 rupees is the daily commute cost. If you are going to travel for 5 days, if you intend to travel for 5 days, will you take a ticket or will you take a pass? Yeah, Abhishek? Ticket. Why? Why you are taking ticket? Cheaper. How do you say it is cheaper? It is 5 into 30, 150 rupees versus 450 rupees. Am I correct, Abhishek? Okay. Just play this game along for another 30 seconds. Suppose you intend to travel for 20 days. Will you buy a ticket or a pass? Pass. Why? Because it is, if you take a ticket, is 450 is lesser than what? Lesser than how much? 600. Hey, wait. Something very interesting. All of you, please listen carefully. Abhishek, when you took this decision, intuitively you looked at the total cost. Am I correct? Yes or no? You did not look at per unit cost. You did not compare 30 rupees with 450 by 5, 90 rupees. Am I correct? You did not compare 30 rupees with 22.5. Intuitively, what did you compare? You compared the total cost. Am I correct? But when we move to the company, inside the company, we start looking at cost on a per unit basis. This brain is a very powerful organ. It keeps working ever till we reach the office. Correct? The point fundamentally is that intuitively you are not comparing per unit cost. Have you noted that? That's very interesting. As an intuitively, as an individual, when you are spending your own money, you are comparing total cost. But when it comes to company, we start thinking about per unit cost and make wrong decisions. Are you getting the point? Sir, you can give your gali, sir.
No, I agree.
Okay, think carefully. Fixed cost going up per unit is a myth.
See, I'll give you an example in case just to get clarified. Now, the fixed cost, Elon Musk's factory at Fremont to make the electric cars Model 3, capacity 400,000 cars per annum. Now they talk about fixed cost per car, $4,000. Because of heavy robots and everything is super, 140 robots and 10 super robots, everything is automated, very, very few human beings. But Salah, instead of 400,000 cars, he ended up making only 50,000 cars. So per car, the fixed cost went up. So I always tell people, don't talk about fixed cost per unit because that depends on how much capacity you utilize. Fixed cost, look at it in absolute terms. This is being incurred. That is why Goldratt called it operating expenses rather than fixed cost. I don't
Sir,
know.
one critical part here is when it comes to fixed cost, we should understand one thing very clearly. your product is not becoming costly, your decision to have capacity is costing you.
Absolutely. That's it. So look at it in absolute terms rather than per unit, how much, because it all depends on the utilization of the equipment, depending on the market.
Sales.
And
Utilization with reference to sales.
yeah. And and in terms of Elon Musk, it had nothing to do with sales. It was folly to bring in so many robots which
Yeah,
had
yeah.
been stabilized. So sales were there, orders were there,
Ah.
but they could not manage it.
I overcapitalized.
Overcapitalized. Too much.
Absolutely. Make sense, Hitesh?
Arey bhai, somebody is asking Hitesh how much we can contribute to fixed cost. But yeah, two of the major things if you are in manufacturing is interest and depreciation. Sala sabse bada, for which you can't do a damn. You can't do a damn. It's like a marriage where divorce is not possible. You are in manufacturing, huh?
Hmm.
Huge. And then I was mentioning it the other day. You are working for the bank now.
But in fact, I always say this, sir, actually, the word fixed cost itself is a misnomer. Just because a variable cost is called variable cost, I call every other cost as a fixed cost.
Yes.
The fixed costs are driven by some other factor. Please look at it very carefully. You should understand the drivers of fixed cost, drivers of the so-called fixed cost. Rent. Rent you pay per square feet, but you use cubic feet. So if you're able to utilize the cubic feet better, you are able to reduce rent. Are you getting my point? Any cost has got some underlying driver. Understand that underlying driver.
He wants food, huh?
Material wastage, we assume that to be variable cost. Not necessary. Material wastage can be driven by the way you are changing over also. So therefore, understand the drivers of cost. Okay. Yes, Anilji.
Go.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Hariharan sir, I hope I made your day. Right, Muradian sir came in. I
Yeah, it's a
surprise
blessing.
for you. So, sir, the first reaction has come from an investment consultant, very famous Harish sir. He's saying awesome session. And
Thank
sir, you were going on responding to Shetty sir, who is the president of Indians Band Samagam. Right.
Okay.
So, Casey sir, I think one purpose of these sessions is, of course, knowledge. Second, better is to introduce people who can always help you in these challenging times. So, Kamlesh sir, Rajesh sir, Moradian sir, of course, is very famous. Hariharan sir, right, I wanted to introduce for the simple reason, right, you can see the way he analyzes the entire thing. So, that's one reason. Of course, I request Hariharan sir to give his details to the colleagues in case they want to get in touch with you, sir. I would request you to please.
I'll type down here itself in my Excel sheet itself. So you can always take it from there.
And if you can give me that Excel sheet, sir, I'll post it in our Telegram group.
I'll share the Excel sheet with you.
And there is a surprise for both Hariharan sir and Moradian sir. I just realized our Guru Parimal sir is also attending this class very quietly in the attendance.
Wow! Where is he?
He's sitting quietly and watching the entire thing, right, in the list of participants, right. Parimal sir has come back from Dubai. He's in quarantine in a hotel for the next 7 days, right. So Parimal sir is there. I never realized it. I just saw that. I'm so happy today. It's been a great day for me, right. I request all the participants to please give your feedback to Hariharan sir. They have devoted their time for us. But now those who need help can please talk directly. Right, all of us are available in these challenging times. The idea is very simple: service to society through business. Very simple: service to society through business. I presented Hariharan sir to you all today, who always keeps saying, who talks about Moradian sir. So I wanted that surprise for Hariharan sir also. Thank you, Moradian sir, for coming.
My pleasure.
And namaste. Right.
Privilege. And it's a double whammy surprise for me with Moradian sir and also Parimal. Thank you so much, Anil.
Parimal sir is quietly watching us, right? I just realized that now. Right.
Back to India after a long holiday.
Okay.
After a long quarantine and again further 7 days, Parimal. Welcome back.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah. Chalo, shall we?
Thank you, all of you all.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Right. Thank you, Hariharan sir, from the bottom of my heart, sir. Thank you very,
Thank you
very
so
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, Moradin, sir. Thanks for the blessing.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
Moradin, sir.